Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Imani. Today we're going to be talking about my TBR. So I do want to preface this by saying that I am an English major at Hunter College. I love to read. I have a whole nother video coming about my favorite books as an English major, my favorite short stories, my favorite poems, everything like that. We're going to be tackling this pile right here. And we're going to be talking about books that I am going to be reading in the order in which I'll be. In the order, great job. I'm an English major, but I can't speak. In the order in which I'll be reading them. We're going to talk about the book that I'm reading right now. I'm currently reading Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings. This book is really good so far. I'm about 150 pages in. I am annotating it, as you guys can see. I had this book for more than a year. I actually spilled some orange juice, I think. I feel like that's what I remember it being. It did end up wrinkling the page. I kept seeing videos about it on my TikTok. I was like, you know what? I have the book. Let me pick it up. Let me read it. The next book that I'm reading is The Night Circus. This book is by Erin Morgenstern. I'm really excited to get back into this book. I did start reading it. I read this on a plane. I got about 80 pages into the book. And I didn't stop because the book is bad at all. By no means is this book bad. I was kind of dealing with like a reading slump, and I just really couldn't get myself to like finish the book. Well, two young magicians as children, we see them as kids. So we like are with the people who create the kind of like challenge that these two are going to be facing with one another, and then they meet before and I think they fall in love. That's what I'm getting from this book, but I'm really excited to get into this. I really am. I already did get into it, but I'm excited to finish it. The next book is Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman. This book is about two brothers. We follow Fat Charlie. Like, he's very like timid, not very sure of himself, but he meets his brother after his father dies, that he didn't know about, and his brother's name is Spider, and Spider kind of has these abilities. I believe he like transforms and shapeshifts. I got really far into this as well. I got 212 pages into this, but again, it was it was like a reading slump more than anything. Like, I was powering through this book for a really long time and got about halfway through it, but I didn't finish it, obviously, as you can see. By the way, a lot of my TBR books are books that I've began and have not finished. Okay. By the way, with Anansi Boys, this is by Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite authors. He wrote Coraline. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Coraline, the movie. The book is good, but the movie is just phenomenal. Like, the book is just the skeleton, but the movie is the meat. If you haven't read Neil Gaiman's work, please, I beg you to read it. He's incredible when it comes to magical realism. Dune. This is by Frank Herbert. I really want to read it because the second movie's coming out, and I really wanted to read the book before the movie came out, because I never saw the first movie or read the book, obviously. And I want to make sure that I read the first book before I see the first movie, and then I'm going to see the second movie and then read the second. Next is The Brothers Karamazov. I don't know how to pronounce this. Like I said, I am an English major. I take a creative writing class, and a lot of the guys in the class were like, this is one of the books that you should read. I believe that this is a Russian author based on the name. And it's supposed to be about 5 brothers. It's like a whole murder mystery, things like that. And I'm really excited to get into it. I don't really know much about this book beside that. I paid about $20 for this book as well. I'm trying to finish The Way of Kings by May 10th. It's May 6th. I'm trying to finish this in 4 days, and I'm only 150 pages in. I might extend it to the 15th, actually. All right, we're gonna go May 15th with this book. We're gonna go May 15th. So that is my TBR. Let's have a look at them in this order. Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings is my current read. The Night Circus. Then Anansi Boys. Then it's going to be Dune. Lastly, The Brothers Karamazov. So this is what we're looking like. This is what it's looking like right now. Can you see them? This is what she looks like. All right, just put it down. This is like a very optional book that I started that I want to finish. Like, I was annotating it and everything. I was annotating her. I may get back into this book. This is another Russian literature novel that I was reading called Oblomov by Ivan Goncharov. Goncharov. I'm sorry, I'm not good with pronouncing names. Please. But this is the cover. I really like the cover. The cover is really nice. I think it's really cool. He actually looks a little bit like this guy I used to date. I used to tell him that all the time. But I might add this to my TBR. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not sure, because the book was good. But I wouldn't read this outside of like feeling like I'm getting something out of it as a English literature major. I don't find it like particularly enjoyable, not in a bad way. I don't find it non-enjoyable, but I just don't find it like super enjoyable. Like I'm really, really into magical realism. Like that's my favorite, and I'm really getting into fantasy now. One more thing, I do have a book that just came into the mail by one of my favorite authors. His name is TJ Klune. I did read 2 of his books, House in the Cerulean Sea, which I'm sure if you're on Book Talk or even here on YouTube, I'm sure that you heard of House in the Cerulean Sea. But he also has another book called Under the Whispering Door, and we'll be right back. I hope I don't cut the book. In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. I'm so excited to read this book. I love him. I really, really love him. I really wanted to wait to read this book after I finished reading The Way of Kings, but I may just go ahead and get into it, because I might read this really, really quick. I have no idea what it's about. I don't even want to read the summary that I know is going to be in here. I don't even want to read it. I think I'm just going to go into it blind. He's one of those authors I don't even need to know what's going on to want to read his books. But yeah, so this is going to be very, very soon. Actually, this kind of gets bumped up on the list. I may read it alongside of The Way of Kings, now that I think about it. That is my TBR list. It's very, very short. It's nothing too crazy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.